Day 52. Let's fix that. Okay. Yeah, making some better progress. I've been pretty frustrated the last 2 days. I feel like I've got a lot of time to work on some stuff yesterday, and a lot more time today. And I got stung by a bee. My ankle's all swollen. It's like I feel weird about that. It's like throbbing, but I'm still able to think. I have a little bit of a headache, but I'm still thinking okay. And I was able to figure out some of the tile set stuff for Mapbox, so that's been really good. Yeah, we previously would just load in the whole data set, and I learned that was not going to work for very long, and so figuring out this tile set thing, it's like $2 to update it every so often. Hoping we don't have to do that very often, but it's working. I took way too long, but it's working. This is fully tile setted. This load real quick, and that's it. Looking the same or pretty similar to before. And all we gotta do is keep building. So 52 days of this. I did work myself up to 9 push-ups and pull-ups. I think I'm just gonna push myself a little bit. I know I'm a little early on that, but I feel like I can do it. I can do 9, and it's not super taxing. I can still function, and my arms aren't that tired. So I am stuck at 168. I have been stuck here for probably a week or two now. There's a lot of cheat days in there, so like I gotta keep that in mind. But I guess I'll give it another week or so, or 2 weeks, and maybe if I don't make any progress, then maybe I'll try something else. And I don't know. I got to start putting on muscle soon, but I kind of feel weird that I haven't broken 168 really yet. So something to keep in mind. But my dad came over yesterday and got to hang out and talk, and he got to play with my kids, and it was nice. We had like a nice day at the park, and it was a really cool park by us that we got to go to do that. But I think like usual, I think naming the game right now. So something I really feel good about myself with is I've been so frustrated with this program with Mapbox for the last 3 or 4 days. Maybe 4 or 5 days. I know there's an easier way. I know it's not so hard, and I don't know why. It's always like one little thing. That's the hardest part, and it takes you forever to realize what the one little thing is, and it's so frustrating. But I kept my composure more than I usually did. I was pretty upset, but every time I was upset, I was like, okay, Brian, maybe you're only 10 minutes away from solving this thing, 10 minutes away from figuring out this little problem. Maybe you're only 10 minutes away. And, that really helped me. It helped me just stay calm, and not like throw a tantrum about how frustrating and stupid this is. So I think that's something to keep in mind is how do we stay calm when we're the most frustrated at ourselves and at stupid things. Like I get so frustrated when I feel like something's going to take me 5 minutes or 20 minutes or an hour, and it takes me like 10 times that amount of time. And I don't know how to solve that, but the wait, just, you could be 10 minutes away. You could be 10 minutes away. Just, put another 10 minutes in, I think it's something. It's another tool in my tool belt that I didn't realize I have, or that I didn't realize the amount of power behind it, or the amount of power I could give it. And so that's been a helpful thing. But with Sean and I, we continue to talk and, think about different ways of monetizing this and what to do. And I don't know. I feel like half the time we're meeting, I'm like, this is great. We're going somewhere. We know exactly what we're doing. The other half, I'm like, we're kind of floating around in space right now. Like, what is the goal? What is the objective? What is the next step? And I'm sure that's normal. I'm sure that's like what everyone thinks, especially at this stage of a company, like what to do, where to go, what to try, even like who's our customer keeps changing in my head and his head. And I think it's good that we both come at it from different perspectives because we get more well-rounded. I just think it's also hard to keep scope, and it's hard to determine what's valuable until we have more customer feedback. And I hope we're both not too scared to unleash this thing to everybody. I think I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the reason is, but it's on my mind that there is this, like, not it needs to be perfect, but there's always more you can do that you want to do because it's fun. There's always more that you can add in there. And I don't know. I should just let it go for today. Just keep building, keep working on it. I'm going to start adding more toggles and more things. And I don't want to make a bunch of features that no one's going to use, but I think there is something to just letting them be able to see the data and get to it and cut it. Like I think that's value, but I do need to like build in the user authentication, which I hate doing. It's so frustrating. It's so annoying. Like all the different ways you can break the website. I don't know why there's not something simple you can just like plug and play with, like, here's your ID and it just figures out the user authentication for you. But I don't know. I'll keep playing around if there is something out there, but I haven't seen anything out there like that where it's just like, we'll hold your users, we'll hold this, we'll hold that for you. Just put in this, like, iframe or something. But, that's all part of it. We did break down one of our competitors' websites today, which I think we need to continue doing. I don't want to focus too much on the competition, but I think it's a fine line between focusing on them and not stepping in all the potholes that they stepped in on the way to where they are, And so I think that's kind of my focus, is like, how do I use what they've done as a stepping stone, not a measuring stick, and I just came up with that on my on the fly. So that sounds really cool. Maybe I should write that down. But I think the most thing I've been reflecting on is, especially when it comes to like what to focus on. Like I'm more focused on geolocation stuff because I find it interesting and I find it valuable to non-developers, like non-real estate developers, when I feel like a lot of the stuff that we're working towards in the evaluation tool, I just don't, it's not where I come from. I think that's the biggest thing. It's not that I don't trust Sean about that. It's just not where my head's at. But I keep coming back to the Bezos quote. Like, he's like, you can do this and do that, but if you can have a 10% chance at being the market lead at something, like the best person in the world at something, take it, because if you have enough 10% chances, you'll eventually get one of them, and then that might be $100 million company. And so I keep trying to think through, like, how can we be the market lead for this or for that, and maybe that's the wrong direction. Maybe I'll laugh at myself in a few months or years about that, but that's kind of where my head's at right now. Is like, we got to get away from anyone could build this and it's not better than other people's stuff, because it inherently can't be, because they have a corner on the market in that capacity. And I really think it's going to be hard to pick that apart with evaluating any kind of property or rental or anything. It's like there's just so many tools out there that even if you are the best, I think you have to really beat it into the ground that you're the best, and why and how and everything. And I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of value and money there too. So I think, like I said, I think we've kind of always had the perspective of, no matter what we do, let's no matter what we end up doing, let's build things that will be part of that program. Like the map is obviously something. The indices of evaluating properties is something. So I think that's all part of it, and that's all you can do, right? I mean, I think we're trying to figure out crime still, and that's a big headache, and I don't know what to do about it, honestly. We got to keep plugging away. It's we're going to be meeting with the crime people pretty soon and see if we can barter a deal with them, but I'm a little nervous about it. I feel like we don't have leverage, we don't have anything, and I don't really want to build it, I mean, I think we can. I just don't know if I want to. So this is going to be a good learning opportunity for me? How do I try to make a deal with somebody that doesn't want to make a deal with me, you know, and they have all the leverage? This is going to be actually, this is, I mean, it's kind of fun. Like, I've been trying to do the Alex Ramonzi, like, how do I build them an offer they would feel stupid saying no to, you know? And I think it's hard because I don't know what they want. I don't know what they care about. I don't know what they don't care about. And Sean keeps wanting me to like make the offer, but I don't want to make an offer without knowing what they like or not like, or, you know, I want to know what they care about or think about. But I do feel good that I feel like I made a breakthrough today with the tile sets, and that's sheer pushing through and trying new things. Like I probably spent, 3 full days thinking about it, dreaming about it, talking about it, working on it, GPTing it all day. So it's not easy stuff, I mean, Mapbox isn't inherently hard. It's just inherently difficult to go from. It's really difficult to become a novice at it. There's just such a steep learning curve to even try it that you almost have to be pretty expert to like just use it generally, in my opinion. I don't know how they would make it simpler, but there's not like a 20-minute tutorial that like teaches you all the things you need to know. Even the like 1 hour webinars they have, it's just so it's so like deep level stuff. You have to know a lot of stuff to even like understand the guy's lingo. So, but I guess I am pretty proud of him up to 9 pull-ups. That's pretty good. If I can do, the thing I'm going to try to build up to is the Murph challenge. I think that's like the cool thing to do these days. So I understand it's a little stupid, but it's 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and you run 2 miles. And I think you have to run at the beginning and the end. And you have to do it with a weighted 20-pound vest on too. And supposedly like a good time is like under an hour or something. So I mean, Mark Zuckerberg did it in 40 minutes. So I think that's the gold standard right now of people that are publicly saying what they can do. So, but it's an interesting, like sprint, you're sprinting for an hour. Like I don't know if I can do 200 push-ups, but I know I can't do 100 pull-ups. Like I think at like 30, I'd be dead. So whatever, it'll be cool. I think that's a good challenge to do. Maybe I'll do it on my birthday or something. Maybe like that'll be what I do. That's a pretty good one actually to do. So maybe I'll do that. That'll be fun. But my wife's got her job getting lined up, and so life's getting a little bit more organized. I hope you can see it. I'm feeling a little bit better about everything as we, just make life gets complicated and gets a little bit simpler and back and forth. So I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm not feeling as down. It's so like you tie your self-esteem, you tie your self-worth, you tie everything back to today, back to like what you've accomplished recently, what you're working on right now, like what recently has happened to you. It's hard to not feel today's problems, because I don't remember last week's problems, and I know next week's problems are going to be so much worse than today's problems for next week's Brian. But today's Brian is feeling today's problems, and that's kind of all there is. That's all there is out there is feeling today's problems and today's excitement and today's joy and pain and misery and happiness and hatred. And I think it's just about not letting it get to you. But I only feel that way when I'm not letting it get to me. I only can say that when I'm not letting it get to me. The days I'm letting it get to me, I just huff and puff and I get all frustrated and I can't think wise. So that's the hardest part, I think, is to be wise in pain, in your most painful moments, to stay wise. So I don't know. I guess I got to come up with better tools on how to do that. But that's kind of what my thought bubble for today is how to be wise in when you're not feeling good and how to appreciate when you are, that it's not every day. So I would categorize today as a good day. I got something done, not as much as I'd like to get done, but I feel good about the time I spent and how I spent it and the amount of effort I put in and therefore the result. So I think that's the hard part. The rubber band swings back and forth. I had a couple of frustrating days and now I'm starting to come down from that frustration. And I do this to myself, right? Like Monday, Tuesday, sometimes Wednesday is super frustrating. And then I work. And then Thursday, Friday, I go, oh, that was a good week. I put in some good time. I got some done, and maybe that's just how we are as humans, but that's definitely been me for most of my life, is this cadence of this like rubber band. So I'm gonna get going. But 52 days down, 46 days of push-ups and pull-ups, and kind of try to break 168 today. So I'll see you.